I used to tell myself I'd start tithing when I got everything figured out. Once the business stabilized, once the cash flow comes in, that moment truly never came. And the more I told myself that I would, the further I drifted, not just financially, but also spiritually. And so let me just run through a little bit about what changed. It isn't a story about some massive breakthrough. It's not, rags to riches. It's not like God gave me a mansion after I tithed, king of things. So it's way more personal. And really, I was in the middle of scaling, deals were moving, I was making money, but I was also spending like crazy, putting it all back in. I kept saying when I catch my breath, when it's, stable, I'll start tithing. And, I'd hear that voice, start now, give a tithe, trust me with this. But I kept brushing it off. I'll give when the next wire hits or when that next deal closes or when things calm down, but they never did. I was always in go mode. And here's the truth. I was saying I trusted God, but I was living like I was the source rather than he was the source. And one day I heard something pretty simple. If you don't tithe when you have nothing, you won't tithe when you have something. In all reality, that hit me pretty hard because tithing isn't about the amount. It's about the obedience. And obedience is a muscle you have to practice. If you don't build it with a little, you won't know how to carry the weight when it gets bigger. So I finally just did. I gave a smaller deal, just a portion, something just to start automatically actually. And no lights came down from heaven, no investor dropped 500,000 check in my lap, but something happened in me. And I would say it felt clearer, more disciplined, less like a man trying to control everything and more like a son entrusting something back to his father for what was already given. And my standpoint on that is even if you just have something automated or something that's moving, the small act of obedience really, it creates discipline. And that discipline started really showing up in how I spent, and how I led and how I made decisions. It didn't just make everything easy, but it made me, I would say, a little more wise. And that's, to be honest, what stewardship is all about. It's not just about giving money, but giving your heart, your grip. Give your control back to God. It doesn't guarantee anything, right? Tithing doesn't guarantee any abundance, but it guarantees alignment. So that's why I would encourage just a little bit of piece of work in terms of when it comes to tithing. It's not about chasing deals or business or just trying to make it work. Don't wait till everything's perfect to obey. Start now with whatever you have, what little you've got. That obedience will grow with you.